Welcome back to AWS On Air, live from reInvent. My name is Chris Howard, and I'm a manager in the AWS Developer Relations team, and I'm here once again with my co-host. Please introduce yourself, Shashank.
Hey everyone, Shashank, also a developer advocate at AWS, and I love a good machine learning launch.
I know you
Uh,
do. I know you do. This is right up your alley.
So I want to know more, and we have an expert from the team here today, and I won't break any suspense here. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. This is Julu Panot. I'm a principal product manager with the Amazon Textract team.
Ooh.
And we were just talking about this before we went live, Julia. Like, I flew in from Germany, and so as part of that, I had to upload a whole lot of documents to different websites. And I believe that what you've launched is something that would help make that process a lot less painful for the processing of all that information. What have you launched?
Absolutely. We are super excited to announce that we are providing specialized support for extraction of ID documents. And what we have realized is that, Textract does a great job of extracting data from documents, but the ID documents are complex enough that, it has got rich background, there are some, inline text in it, and you have to make sense of what that document represents. And so that was an interesting challenge for us, and we said, hey, let's solve this for our customers because we know it'll help them a lot.
So what were they doing before? Was it just manual?
Yeah, so you won't believe it, but
Typing it in?
data entry, and with COVID, all things changed.
Yes,
so,
of course.
People were working from home. You find businesses have then now moved on to the digital platform. So your account opening process, where you have to present a form of ID document,
holding things up to the camera.
Absolutely, and getting it right, or even like scheduling an appointment.
Right.
All of this became digital, and because of that, it was a huge challenge for our customers. Where basically they would either upload the document, and behind the scenes they would have human data entry people typing in this information. Imagine the number of loans that were delayed by this process, or claims processing that was delayed by this process, or some people just went ahead and did OCR, which is great.
Yeah.
Right.
But as I said, if you look at an ID document, it's got different aspects. And if you look at a US driver's license, for example, there are 50 states.
Yes.
Right.
And there are different, from like if you take the past 5 years, there are nuances in how the ID document is created. And also then you have to account for state IDs. And then if you look at underage, under 21, it's a vertical document.
Oh, wow.
So look at the amount of things that they have to go through, and then they have to build templates based on the OCR to say, okay, this key value, this first name means if it's in this position, that's the first name and the last name.
Right.
And if it's in this position, it's an address. So they had to build a lot of templates.
And if something changes, then you have to build a new
Yes,
template.
a new version comes in, they can't do it. And think about the other challenges, like you take a picture, and if your picture is like slant, and you take a picture, then the template doesn't match properly.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these challenges, made us, think what can we do for these customers so that we can improve business process efficiency.
So Julu, the service has been around for a while, right? Textract.
Yes.
And it's been able to do some of these things in the
Yes.
sense you're able to extract information. So what's new is that focusing on verification of IDs. Is
Correct.
That, okay.
That's correct.
And are there specific types of documents or IDs that are supported?
Yes. So ID documents are very special documents. And if you, the reason it's a challenge is, as I mentioned, it's got the rich background
Right.
behind the scenes. So not all OCR works great with those, because the design pattern from the background bleeds in, and people have to
Interesting.
figure that out. So what we have done is that we've combined models, which are computer vision and NLP, to come with a consolidated model, which
Right.
basically is able to solve the problem and improve the accuracy. Like we have very high accuracy for the information that we extract. And also there is no more, like you don't have to do, it reduces the number of post-processing that a customer has to do. So you can exactly get, even if there is no explicit key associated with a name or an address, you can get that extracted as a key value pair because we understand that.
Right.
The document coverage, we are currently support US passports and US driver's license for
Nice.
50 states and 2 territories, which includes DC and Puerto Rico.
I was just, you're talking about this, and I was just thinking how hard of a machine learning problem it is,
Yeah.
right? If I were to go build this, I have to collect all these data sets and figure out what if the ID is tilted and
Right.
it's skewed, and then it's such a hard, complex model, or many models you're saying, right?
Yes.
And now we can access this through an API.
Correct.
How,
Is that
how
right?
do you use it? Is it
Yeah.
just an API call?
Yes, it is a simple API call. The API is called Analyze ID, and you just pass in either image byte of the ID doc. You can, for a driver's license, you can pass in the front and the back of the image
Okay.
as two separate images within the
Right.
same API. So we can extract the information from it. And for passports, you can also send in the photo image of it. Or you can upload to S3 if that's your mode of preference. And this is a sync API, which means you will get back the response in less than 2.5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So it's like quick in, you get the extraction, you can pre-fill the forms and get going.
That is awesome.
Are you going to show it to us?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely thrilled to do that.
Oh, cool.
So let's see if I can show, if the screen, on the screen we see a driver's license. And this is a mocked up one because we don't want to show our, my driver's license and show my age. But
Yeah, Maria wouldn't be happy.
so here's an example. And I just want to walk through, the challenges in this. So if you look at this driver's license, there is nothing in here which says it's a first name,
Right.
Maria or Garcia, or, it doesn't even tell you this is an address. But the human brain is so powerful that you look at this document and you're able to make sense and say, this is the first name, this is the last name, this is line 1, address line 1, this is the city, state, zip code, and so on and so forth, right? Or it is issued by Massachusetts and it's a driver's license. Like, there is nothing in here which says, oh, it's issued by Massachusetts.
Yes.
But we know as humans that we are able to look at this doc and interpret it correctly.
Yeah.
And that's what our machine learning model does.
That's why I always appreciated the skill of a bartender. They look at your age ID in like 2 seconds, and I'm like, where is the date of birth, right?
So exactly, like we are mimicking that human brain with our AI/ML solution, and you're getting that information out. And if you look at it, like it extracts here the first name, it gives you in the key value pairs. The first name
Right.
is Garcia, the last name is Maria, and then if you look at, the address is 100 Market Street. So you can look at this example here. Let's see.
Cool. So it read the image and automatically populated this
Yeah, it
table on the
already
right.
populated this table. It also gives you like the document number. And one thing this API does is also it standardizes across different document types. So if you have like a US driver's license and you have a passport, you will see the passport says given name and
right.
surname.
Yeah.
What our customers end up doing is they create like a synonym list and mapping list,
Right.
which basically says, okay, if I get the surname and the given name from
Yeah.
passport is equal to the first name and last name, and they have to do all these additional post-processing.
Right.
And with this, what we're doing is we're normalizing it across documents, so you don't have to worry about those.
So it's
But
easier to store in a database because you have the same key
Correct.
regardless of the type of document.
Correct. It'll normalize and give you that standard value.
That
But
is
we'll
nice.
also give you the raw value back.
Oh,
So in
okay.
case if you want it for any particular
Right.
reason, you still have it. But we want to make the lives of developers easier, and so we decided, let's give both the benefits
That's
in
cool,
the
yeah.
response. And the response will also give a confidence score for each of these, which will tell you how confident we are that we are good at predicting or how accurate we are in predicting this values.
Cool.
And customers can use that to, either do a human review trigger if they need to.
Yep.
Otherwise, they can just go ahead with the flow.
Now, obviously, these are very sensitive documents. What's happening with these images are they being uploaded somewhere? Like, what happens to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very good question. We follow the same standards that Textract Service has. So customer can opt in and opt out. So if you do not want to give us the data for training the models, you don't have to. And if you don't mind sharing the data to improve the continuous improvement.
So we can actually make it better.
Better.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that is there. Now regarding the processing part of it, everything that is processed is only done at point in time. So it goes to we extract the information. If you've opted in, nothing is stored. Whatever we've extracted, the data is given back to you as is.
Right.
If you've opted in, we still don't store anything. We store the image, but that's
Yeah.
basically because you have consented us
Yep.
for it. But you can find a lot more details on our data opt-in policy, which we'll probably post on our chat room.
And have you achieved like sort of compliance with various?
Yes.
Yes.
We are compliant with HIPAA. We are SOC compliant, and we have since we are on the Textract service.
Yeah.
We are secure from all aspects,
great.
and we
That's
maintain
cool.
the same
Yeah.
standard.
I know a lot of customers who care about compliance. I mean, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So the image comes in, you do the predictions, and that's it, right? The image isn't saved anywhere, and you get this nice table with all the information right here. And you said from a data standpoint, S3, right? You can save
You can upload to S3.
Upload to
the
S3.
data can be stored back into S3, so you can do all that. You can put it into your schema, or you can route it to an A2I, Amazon Augmented AI. If you want a human review process going, you can do that as well.
So
awesome.
You got a passport example there too?
Yes, let me show that. So this is an
That's the one I had to do.
Yeah, especially if you're coming from Germany.
Yeah.
There it is.
This is a passport. Again,
They're a lot more standard than driver's licenses, I imagine.
Yeah, they're pretty standard, except when you
You'd
go
be surprised they're different from country to country.
Well,
country to country, and certain countries have, like if you go to a Canadian driver passport, you have French and English in that.
Right,
so
different languages. Yep.
Like given name, some passports have given name, some have like first and last name or middle name.
Yep.
So those can be challenging.
And see here, it's pretty easy here because it's a good key value pair, but the challenge is the background is overpowering, and so oftentimes people find it hard to extract the information.
Or they have like a hologram on top.
So all those impact, but if you look at this Analyze ID API, it's able to extract it at a high accuracy, like we've seen 95% plus.
95, wow. And you said 2.5 seconds?
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
So what would people use this for? Like what are the use cases that you've seen or that you know people are using this for?
Yeah, you mentioned passport and driver's license.
Yeah.
Are there other formats?
Right now we are supporting these officially, but there are other formats. The model is is not template based. It's a machine learning, it's a deep learning model, so it's able to understand certain patterns and able to extract. It doesn't reject any documents that are sent to it. So if you happen to upload...
it doesn't really care. The service, you can upload whatever you want.
You can upload, but
if you want value out of the service, then you use the recommended document
one.
types. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine any application that does identity verification would be a candidate for this.
So going back to your question, yes, the different use cases. A lot of our customers, when you're opening accounts, whether it's your bank account, your mortgage account, or mortgage origination servicing, you have to submit a form of ID document.
100 points of ID. Yep, exactly.
So that's one.
Yeah.
The other one is, as you mentioned, ID verification. You have to take the document information to then determine if the person is actually who they claim they are. There are other processes that happen behind the scene, but at least this is the first step towards them. And then third one, especially with COVID, what we have seen is like a lot of the applications are online, the scheduling. And one of the use cases that is interesting was Curative is a COVID testing company, it's a startup company based out of California, and all they do is testing for COVID. And they started evaluating this service because they were running into a problem where they were maintaining these templates and it was not becoming scalable solution for them. And they reached out to us and we said, yeah, this is something that will solve the problem. And they're super excited about this feature and they're going to start using it. And they use it for claims processing because they want this information while they file
really
for claims.
Cool. That's a cool use case.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's helping folks too. So a lot of customers who would use this probably run through hundreds or thousands or if not more images, right? So there's a console way to do this, but you also have APIs. You can programmatically do this in a cron job way or in a automatic way.
Correct.
So you support APIs in
so
addition to
our
consoles?
primary product is the API. So it is called the Analyze ID API.
So the console is more of a
the console is just for demo. Yeah, it's just for demo purposes. Yeah. So
so not many customers would actually log into the console and upload images.
Yeah, that's not something that they would find. I mean, it's good to understand and test out for their proof of concepts, but they probably won't, like for a production workload, you should be using an API because that'll integrate with their systems and have that end-to-end experience for it. So
Unless
API
you have
is the
one
way.
image. Unless you have one image, which is
I doubt, even one image, people, generally the console is more like, hey, to understand how the response structure looks like, or what are the fields that are extracted. So we extract around 20 fields from a driver's license, and we extract 8 fields from a passport.
Cool.
So that helps them understand like which are the key fields, and they can use it for their downstream. So this is more, the demo screen or the console is more for demo purposes to understand what would be the response like.
So a question I have in mind, whenever you generate these automatically, would you come to know how confident you are about this? Will the service tell you, you said 95%, will it tell you how confident you are?
Yes, at every key value that is extracted, we return back a confidence score.
Oh, that is, so a customer could see that and decide if they want to accept it or reject.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
And so are you working to add more templates and more types of documents?
Yes, we are constantly improving, trying to make sure that we have this document coverage that our customer wants. So we are always working towards that to increase that scope.
And you said some customers were already expressing interest, so they've been working with us on making the service better?
Yeah, they have been, and we have, I can't name names, but definitely we have customers who are already, in a proof POC mode or, completion mode. They'll be moving into production very soon. So they are super excited about it, and they can't wait to get, more of these things covered and, more document coverages.
And obviously, because this is just done through the API, and you can just use it when you need it, and you're only paying for it, I imagine.
Yes, it's pay as you go.
Yep.
And it's we don't charge you if there is, if the document is not what it meant to be, and so it's pay as you go. It's
That's
like
cool.
as per your usage.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love how simple it is to use, right? Not just this services, but a lot of the AI/ML services. But it's just how simple it is to use, right? Even if you're not an expert in cloud technologies, you just know how to call Python functions, right? You can upload your data set and run sophisticated machine learning approaches. You said 9 models and consolidating that and getting results in 2.5 seconds. I think that's super impressive. I mean, having to build that from scratch is close to impossible.
Yeah, it is a very hard
unless you have
task.
that level of...
And not only that, you need to have that many kinds of documents to train the model.
Right.
And that's a challenge of its own.
Like,
this is a secure document, and you have to...
No one will give you...
No one will give you.
Here's a list of driver's license that you want to train your model on, right? No.
And so it's a challenge that how do you do it with minimalist data?
Right.
How do you train a model that can go across different templates and not be restricted by, the amount of data that you have? So that's the key, is to have a scalable solution here.
And I love it that it's a further evolution of Textract. I mean, we have Textract, so you'd think, oh, it would obviously work for ID documents, but as you've explained, it's a very sort of specialized use case.
Correct.
And that you've solved. Well, where do people go to learn more about how to use it?
Absolutely. So the first page would be to go to our service page, the Textract service page, and you will find links to get directed. You can also go into our console page to try out the feature. And we have a developer blog, which we'll be posting as well in the chat rooms. And we also have the tech documentation, which will show you. What we have seen is like our customers have implemented, our early customers have implemented this like within 5 hours. That's like as easy as it gets. And they were like, no brainer, it works, it's awesome.
Is there anything we haven't asked you about it that's important that we should let everybody know about?
I think nothing specific to call out, but go try out, and I'm pretty sure you will be very enthused about trying out one of your ID doc to see if it works or not. And I have seen the faces of our private beta customers and internal customers, when employees, when they test it, they're like, wow, this actually works. And so I would just say go and give it a try.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Anything from a machine learning perspective that you...
No, I'm just impressed.
You're just geeking out over there.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about all the complexity under the hood that went in to make this such a simple service with a single API call. It's just, it's just phenomenal that we can simplify all this and offer customers like a single API that can give them all the benefits of this.
And the thing is, what customers do is like once they do the OCR or extraction, then they have to apply an LP to figure out what is the address here.
That's a
right.
good point.
So we have like removed all those complexities.
You don't even have to think about it now. If you didn't mention it, like someone wouldn't be thinking about it. Then they start the project and then they have to.
All right, saved people a lot
I'm just going to go
effort.
try this afterwards. Just to.
Yeah, we're all excited to go try it.
I
Well,
know.
thank you so much, Sheila.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate
This
you being
was
here.
fun. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
See you, everyone.